Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to share with you the creation process of this illustration. It is inspired by a quote by Stefan Zweig in his book Marie Antoinette. Lightly, caressingly, Marie Antoinette picked up the crown as a gift. She was still too young to know that life never gives anything for nothing, and that a price is always exacted for what fate bestows. She did not think she would have to pay a price. I roughly had 4 sketches during the process, and I pieced them together in the end. The creation of this piece took over a month, with a lot of trials and errors and lots of back and forth in between. Today I want to walk you through all that process because I have always been so curious how other people create their artwork, and no one has shared that with me. It all started with this very simple sketch of hands holding crystals. That was all I can see in my head back then. The biggest challenge for me in this sketch is to get the hands right, and that was not easy for me. I was basically searching hand holding crystals, and still it was not easy to get an image that has the right angle. The second step is to follow a tutorial on how to create a beautiful crystal. There's a lot of tutorial on this, so I won't get into too much details. My third step is to expand the hand sketches into a human being. Since I already introduced this girl with red dress and white hair as a character in my last 2 videos, I decided that she's here to stay, and I will have her in this drawing too, with the crystal floating in her palm, lighting up her face from the bottom. And for the last step, I'm trying to make the whole scene more environmental, casting some holy light rays from the top and more crystals glowing above her head. Now it's time to polish our character. Since the crystal is glowing from below, acting as a light source, we will light up the corresponding areas on her body. That is, bottom of her chin, bottom of her nose, the areas below her eyebrows, and rim of her palms and arms. For the light coming from the top, it will be lighting up her shoulders and top of her head. For the lip color, I decided to go with a more neutral color than a red one because I don't want her to be a sexy figure that just doesn't go with the whole style. As you can see, the whole process of creating this piece is like cooking. I prepared each ingredient individually and stir-fried them together to make a dish. I'm pretty new to illustration, but in this single piece there's composition, there's color choices, there's sketching of human face and how to make the hand looks right, there's correctly putting lights and shadows on the character, so it has everything. This is also the first time I drew hair. As you can see, it started out pretty ugly. I had to stop here and watched a few tutorials on hairs and then proceeded. I started out just wanting to draw 1,000 hair, and obviously that didn't work out. And what works for me is to use airbrushes to mark out all the highlights and shadows of her hair, and then I used smudge tools to mix the colors together to get a more natural look. And last but not least, the background behind the girl. As you have seen, I started out with some feathers, and that made her look like an angel, but that was not what I was going for. The theme of this drawing is what fate bestows. You gotta pay a price for what you get. So my second attempt is a scar or sword slash with some blood drops, but later I decided that doesn't look good enough, and it was also too literal, and I wanted something more abstract than what I mean. So I ended up going with the blood rivers on the side, and they formed a nice diamond shape with the rays on the top and made the composition better, and that makes me happy. And finally, with some more tweaks, moving layers around, adjusting colors and curves, adding blurs, making the whole image brighter, here's our final result. This piece took a long time for me, but it was the first time I illustrated based off a concept and learned a ton of techniques during the process, so I was really happy. I hope sharing this process is helpful to you, and please hit the like button if you get any value out of this. And thanks for watching.